What's going on, GameLeap? This is the Jizz, and in today's upload, I'm going to be giving you 6 massive mental tips that I've taken from coaching hundreds, if not thousands of students who all seem to have the same mental barrier, and it stops them from climbing and performing at their best in their ranked games. So by the end of this video, if you take these tips with you, there is no doubt that you will become a better player, focus on the right things, and give yourself the best chance of winning your games, which is what it is all about. And just before we do get into the 6 mental tips in this video, make sure you check out the GameLeap website, links in the description and comment section for your League of Legends needs. We have champion courses, guides, VOD analyses made by our challenger players and coaches around the world, so make sure you check out those links to get that exclusive access and get signed up. Now let's get into the 6 tips, and the 6th tip I'm going to give you is really just a reality check, because lots of people seem to think that they're in a certain elo because of luck or because they don't believe in the right god. So the truth is this: you're going to be in a certain rank because you are that rank. If you're silver, it's because you're a silver player. If you were gold, you'd be in gold. That's how the rank system works. Now in OCE, where 10 people play, the matchmaking system and rank system can be a little bit questionable, but still at the end of the day, to become a certain rank, you have to play at that level. So if you are a gold player, to get to diamond, it's not about one-tricking your champion or learning a new role. It's simply because you're not good enough to be at that certain rank, which might sound a little bit hard for me to say, but it's just the reality of it. If you think about in Challenger as well, there's not just one role in Challenger. Every single role has representatives in Challenger. If you think of AD carries, lots of these AD carry mains in lower elo will complain about getting jumped on, there's nothing they can do, their support is trash, I can't do anything. Then why are there AD carries in Challenger? Is it because they got lucky or duoed with their support? Well, if that was the case, then it wouldn't really make sense. You know, what's the point of trying if it's just based on luck? Of course it's not. So to actually climb in this game, you have to be open to improvement and just accept the fact you're at that certain level you're at right now, because that is the level you are playing at. So hopefully, even though it might be a little bit too hard hitting for some people, this should just give you motivation to accept the fact, okay, that's right, I'm in gold, but to be better than this, I need to play at a platinum level, and I'm going to try to find out what it is that I don't do that platinum level players do, and all of a sudden we're thinking about the important things rather than blaming our rank on something that's really placebo that doesn't exist in the real world. Now tip number 5, lots of people when they play this game, they have lofty ambitions or they focus on the wrong thing, because what your focus should really be on when you're playing League of Legends, the only thing that matters is the next play you make. So if you think about a shooter in basketball, these guys have short-term memories. If they miss 10 shots in a row, they don't even care, because the next shot they take, they think it's going in. On League of Legends, you should have the same mindset in the sense that whatever has happened has happened. You cannot influence that at all. If you die or if you misplay or if you bait a teammate, that's already happened. Just say my bad, try to learn from it so it doesn't happen again, and focus on the next play you're going to make, because that is way more important than living in the past, because that doesn't affect anything in the future. Because in a game of League of Legends, you're going to make hundreds, if not thousands of micro decisions. These micro decisions go from the first minute all the way until one nexus explodes. So our focus should only be on making the optimal decision at that time in the game. Looking back and blaming someone, typing to someone, whatever it is we're doing in the past, it's absolutely pointless. And another point on this as well, because I've coached lots of people who worry about this, they put so much emphasis on their rank or their wins or their losses or what their OPGG looks like if it's full of blue wins or red losses. It really affects their psyche. But let me tell you something, everyone is going to lose in this game. Faker, Showmaker, Bjergsen, and TF Blade, all the best players in the world have losses and go on legit loss streaks. They might even run it down a few games, but I guarantee you these players are not thinking about, oh my god, if I win this game, I'm going to be in Grandmaster. Oh, if I lose this game, I'm going to drop out of Masters. They do not think like this. That is just an outcome of you probably playing bad. If you play your best and try to make the best play possible, that is a much healthier mental than thinking about the big picture and what the results might be if you don't play as well as you could. Now tip number 4 is one that is hopefully going to help all you players out there who think they might be infallible. And you come across lots of these players. They have massive egos, and to be honest, they really shouldn't, because they're not in Challenger. So something that might help is just accepting the fact that you are going to make mistakes. I just said that the best players in the world make mistakes as well. They go on loss streaks. They run it down. They might get dumpstered sometimes during the laning phase. These things happen because we are human beings. We are not replicants. We're not robots. So the real benefit of having this mindset is when you actually do stuff up in a game, you're going to be more at ease with it, because most people make a mistake and they blame someone else. They just cannot fathom the fact that they didn't play perfectly, so they look at someone else to vent their frustration. Whereas if you just say to yourself, okay, I stuffed up, but I'm going to make mistakes, so that's fine, I'm cool with it, rather than being so angry at yourself for doing something that's almost natural, because we can't learn without making these mistakes. So embrace them when you queue up, and know that even your teammates, they're going to make mistakes as well. Now tip number 3 to continue with this focus on yourself kind of attitude is just to be be honest with yourself. So what I mean by this is this. If you look at someone's OPGG, I guarantee you the 99% of OPGGs, the wins, the losses, some of those ranked games are not going to represent that player playing at their peak potential at 100% focus, because lots of us, and I'm sure we've all done it, will play when we're tilted. We'll play when we're upset, or when we're angry, or when we need to do something and maybe your mum's coming home in 10 minutes and you have to help her with the shopping. These emotions and these things happen. It's called life, I guess. So what I want you to do before you actually queue up for a ranked game is just to ask yourself, can I give myself 100% commitment and focus in the next 20, 30, 40 minutes? If that's the case, when you look at your OPGG over say 50 games, we know that that is your real rank, because most people, I guarantee you, are sitting in a rank that's probably lower than what they actually should be just because they play on tilt, or because they rage so much, or get chat restricted and lose their account eventually. So what I'm saying is just be real with yourselves, guys. You will know if you are in the right mindset to play. Obviously everyone's different, but at the end of the day, if you don't give yourself and your team for that matter 100% of your effort and energy, then we are really wasting our own time and potential. Now tip number 2, lots of people struggle with this one as well, and this is to play in the game that is for yourself, because so many players think that because League is a team game, it's 5v5, we have to think about our team when we're making decisions. Guess what? The Jizz has permitted you to not think about your team and to only think about yourself. So one common example which I've talked about before in other videos, you might be an AD carry and your jungler asks for your assistance at Dragon. But if they have Dragon on their own, why would you give up your own time, which you don't have to help them? You can use those 30 seconds, which would have been 30 seconds to help your jungler do Dragon when you don't actually have to back, buy your items and run back on the map quicker and get more golden experience via minions, maybe even more kills. Or another really common example might be you're playing top lane and the enemy top laner is a level above you and has such a big minion wave, but your jungler ganks anyway and you get baited by it, go in and you both die. That's the end of the top lane and that's probably GG, and you and your jungler are going to get into a heated battle of words. So in these situations, it's kind of funny. If you think about your team and kind of trust your teammate's bad decision, you're actually making a worse decision for yourself. And from a team's point of view as well, if we just think about it, the Dragon example with the AD carry, when that AD carry moves, it's really inefficient for the team as well, because Dragon is already secured. We don't need to commit more resources to it than we have to. That AD carry can recall, get back on the map, and get the golden experience they would have lost if they were to run to the Dragon. This is such an important and it's a hard concept as well to get our heads around, because we're probably taught our teammates matter and we have to listen to them, play for your own golden experience, and trust me, the results will follow. It's a much better mindset, and it is called solo queue after all. Now tip number 1, this is the biggest tip of the video, guys, and if you have enjoyed this video and the tips in here, make sure to let us know by leaving a like down below, and any questions about the tips or anything I've talked about, make sure to leave a comment or question down below as well. Now tip number 1, it kind of plays on this teammate mindset. I want all of you to go into your next rank game and to test this out. So our number 1 goal in any game is to win our lane or our matchup. So if you're a jungler, we're focusing on the enemy jungler. If you're a mid laner, you're focusing on stomping the enemy mid laner. And I don't care if you're playing a champion like Veigar in the mid lane, you can still win mid. If you're playing a champion like Ezreal in the bot lane, you can still crush the bot lane. And the reason I'm saying this is because I've had so many students who go into games thinking, oh yeah, I'm playing Ezreal, I'm just gonna chill and I'm gonna farm. Oh, I'm playing Malphite top lane, yeah, I'm just gonna relax and do nothing. But what you should always be trying to do, regardless of the matchup you're in, regardless of how hard your lane is or if you're getting camped, you can still give yourself the chance to crush your lane regardless of the champion you're on. But so many people go into a game with this beta mindset. Oh, I'm just gonna relax and farm here, no worries, I'm just gonna handshake my lane with my opponent. When you do this, you are relying on hope. You are relying on your team to do well, and you're hoping your teammates carry you to a victory. Because what happens if your teammates are feeding? You can't carry because you're not ahead of your opponent. So that is just an automatic loss. Whereas if you have the mindset and you give yourself a chance to dumpster your lane, you actually might have a chance to win these unwinnable games, and this will add up to a lot of games over time where they're just unwinnable because you don't do anything in lane. You play way too passive and you have no influence on the result of the game. Also remember tip number 4 that I said that will help you with this. Just accepting the fact you're going to make mistakes. Even if you go in and limit test, you're going to learn so much more from that rather than just sitting back and hoping you win the team lottery, because guess what? That doesn't help you climb. You are not improving. So always go into games, guys, with the focus on winning your lane. So those are the 6 mental must-know tips for Season 12. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below so you don't miss any of our future Season 12 uploads. And until tomorrow's daily upload, this has been the Jizz. Peace.